Welcome back to Arts on the Town. I'm Ken Lefebvre.
And I'm Susan Lefebvre.
And we are talking with Ian Poulis of Ballet Arizona. Ian is a dancer, has been now with the Ballet Arizona Company for his second year, and he is in the Nutcracker, which opens this Friday.
That's right. We're going to be giving away 2 pairs of tickets during this show to the opening night performance of the Nutcracker.
Correct. So pay attention this segment. At some point we'll say, do this, and the first people to do this will get 2 people each will get 1 pair of tickets to Ballet Arizona's The Nutcracker. Okay. Ian, we were talking before the break about the roles you play in The Nutcracker. How many of them are there?
Oh, geez. At last count, I believe that I'm up to 7.
7 roles, yeah.
7 roles, and I don't think there's that many
Is
left
that all
to
on
fill.
the same nights?
No. At the most, I might do 3 in a night, but okay, let's run down the list. I'm doing a party parent. I'm doing a grandfather at 23 years old.
Congratulations.
Okay.
The power of makeup, right?
Yeah, right.
I'm also doing Drosselmeyer, which I'm very excited about. Get to go into my little acting side rather than this dancing. And then come can't forget the Mouse King, which I did talk about before. And come second act, I'll be performing in either the Spanish dance, the Russian dance, or the Chinese dance. So
and all of those require incredible acrobatics. I mean, ballet dancers are acrobatic anyway, but those are especially acrobatic roles.
It's a moving art form.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chinese dance is the most underrated because it's so short.
It is short, but it's cute.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a better way to describe it. And plus, the costume is like wearing silk pajamas, so it's
cool.
It's a very comfortable dance to do.
Well, it's a beautiful dance as well.
Yeah.
And for those of you who have not seen Ebe Anderson's brand new recreated Nutcracker, I highly recommend it. Last year was the first year, and before the break you were talking about how that it really came together at the last minute last year, and the sets and costumes were in evolution, and now you said hopefully you will have the kind of the final version.
From what
this
I've been
time.
told, we have everything now, so it'll be exciting to see. And plus, the production never stops. Yeah, we have the costumes. Yeah, we have the makeup. Yes, we have the sets. But they're undergoing constant renovation. For example, they're fixing up the mice costumes again to make it easier for us to move in.
The mice look so much better than the previous production.
Oh my God!
In the previous production, they look sort of slick weasels or something. I don't know. It was bad, but these are great.
Yeah, when once all the dancers, we learn the movements, they look very grotesque, and they look like mice running around your floor that you're batting with a broomstick, So,
now, Ian, is this your first year with Ballet Arizona?
No. This is my second.
This is your second. So you came in last year.
I came in the middle of
or you wouldn't have known about all that chaos.
The crazy stuff, yes.
And then where did you come? I mean, how did you end up coming to Arizona?
Well, that's a long story, but I'll try to give the nutshell version.
You have a minute and a half.
Okay. So before this, I was dancing in Ballet Met in Ohio for 6 months, and before that, I was dancing for 3.5 years in Ballet International in Indianapolis. My company closed down in Indiana. I got picked up very quickly by Ballet Met, and I was offered a guest contract with Ballet Arizona to finish out their season for the Balanchine program.
Okay.
And I was very impressed by what I saw here. I was very impressed by Ebe, the director, and just the overall feel of the camaraderie among all the dancers. And I asked if I could stay because I had such a great time and I wanted to continue this feeling. And there was one contract left, and I signed it the following day.
Oh, wonderful.
You were a man of good timing.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
fantastic.
That's what happens in this business.
Timing is everything, yes.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
We're so glad to have you here.
Well, thank you.
Your education as a dancer, actually, you're a New Yorker born, right?
Yes.
But you went to Washington, D.C. to go to school. Now, that strikes me as, I'm sure there's a perfectly logical explanation, but every dance student on earth wants to go to New York. Why did you go to D.C.?
I did start dancing in New York, but to further my education and the style of dancer that I wanted to be, I needed to move away from home to go to a boarding school for my high school years at the Kirov Academy of Ballet in D.C. It was something that I needed to do to take myself to the next level. And I felt that they've not only raised me to be a good dancer, but they've raised me to be a good person as well through the mentoring of all my teachers that I've had there.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, when did you know that dancing was your life's path?
Oh, boy. I made that hard decision at 11.
Did you really?
I started dancing at 6. It wasn't always ballet. I didn't want to do ballet. They made me do ballet for coordination purposes and whatnot. And I resisted at first, because I wanted to be a tap Broadway dancer.
Okay.
I sing also, and I didn't want to go that route. And then I found a great teacher on Long Island where I grew up, and she really opened up my eyes and made dancing athletic and made it fun and made it exciting with her iron fist. And I was hooked. I got bit by the bug.
So
now, the Russian sort of dancing,
Okay.
The Russian sort of dancing that you learned at the Kirov School, which is obviously a Russian school, those of us looking at dance from the outside sort of feel that there's a really strong difference between that kind of dancing and the Balanchine sort of dancing that Ebe Anderson grew up in and trains people in at Ballet Arizona. What brought you to a Balanchine style company?
Evolution of myself. The Russian school gave me an amazing base. I think that's what they're great for. They let you know how to do the step, execute it well, and that's one of the major things that I picked up from the Russian school. A lot of people say, "Oh, there's not enough feeling in Russian dance. Everything looks like a cookie cutter," but I don't think that's true. I think if you take the fundamentals that the Russian school gives you and add yourself to it, you can do basically anything. And coming to Balanchine Company, I was a little resistant my whole career. In my young, storied career, I was resistant. But there's something to be said about the Balanchine style that you can't get in the classical, hard Russian style.
So, how would you describe the difference between Balanchine style, or contrast Balanchine style with the Russian style?
It's a matter of technique. We say style, but it's more Russian technique versus the Balanchine style. Balanchine is from the Russian school. He was born and raised in the Russian school. He took the fundamentals that he learned and he made them, I want to say, more organic. He made the steps flow better, whereas they weren't so rigid and cut piece by piece. I think that's something that Balanchine really brought to the States when he came here back in, the 30s, I believe. So,
and there's considerably more speed and quick attacks in Balanchine.
Yes, it's more about going through the movement rather than stopping the movement.
And sculpting the pose, as it were, which Kirov does so well. We promised earlier that we'd ask about the difference between canned music and live music. Now, you weren't here when Ballet Arizona had canned music for Nutcracker.
Not to say that I haven't danced to canned music.
And what is the difference for you as a dancer on stage between the two?
Oh, my God. The energy that comes from underneath, the rumbling of the drums, the horns, the sound, and everything. Seeing the conductor himself dance to the music, it's another character. And that's why we do applaud at the end of the performance, because the orchestra, because they helped us emote in a way that canned music can't. Let me tell you a quick story really quick. I was in Ballet Met. It was the first time I danced with live orchestra, and that's the first time I really heard Tchaikovsky's score to the Nutcracker. And you hear it on tape, you hear it on the radio. It's like, oh, well, there's the Nutcracker again. But that was the first time I really was like, okay, there's emotion in this. There's a reason Tchaikovsky wrote it like this. There's a reason, the story of the Nutcracker is warped in itself. And, this was one of Tchaikovsky's final scores that he wrote. I think he wrote one more symphony before his death. It's just, he gave everything he had in that the final pas de deux, in the grand pas de deux.
I believe you're right. That's a magnificent piece. And so beautifully danced by the dancers of Ballet Arizona.
Amazingly, yes.
So I was going to say, we're stepping on each other. We need to learn to be better dancers, sweetheart. We got one more minute in this segment. How do people, who's going to win the tickets?
Well, I was just about to say.
Okay.
Ballet Arizona's The Nutcracker, featuring Ian Poulis and about, 3 dozen other people, or 4
38 dancers in all.
There you go.
Yes.
38 dancers. Opens this Friday at Symphony Hall with live music by the Phoenix Symphony. It's a spectacular, breathtaking production, folks, so don't miss it.
And we're giving away 2 pairs of tickets to this opening night.
To the opening night. The first 2 people to email us, that's right, we're a tape show, so you can't call us, but if you will email us at artsonthetown@aol.com, it will contain a timestamp, of course.
What are they going to have to do, like send us a nude picture or something?
No, just send us...
I don't know, you said they had to do it, tell them to do something.
Send us an email
saying,
I want the Nutcracker tickets, or words to that effect.
Got it.
Send it to us at artsonthetown@aol.com. The first 2 people to do so, each one of them will get 2 free tickets to Ballet Arizona's The Nutcracker. Right back after this.